I think so. Trying to see.
I see video.
I see the video. It's just the mics. It's not like I'm trying to
Oh,
connect
yeah.
it to this cam. Oh well, let me
If I could have your attention, please, I'd like to welcome you to the graduation ceremony of the 60th session of the Jefferson County Sheriff's Academy. Please stand as your graduates enter. Main as our honor guard presents our colors, and our class chaplain, James Perkins, brings our invitation and the pledge of allegiance. Honor guard, full alert, march.
Let's pray. Heavenly Father, thank you for the opportunity to gather here and celebrate the graduation of Session 60. Thank you for the leadership, the guidance, and the knowledge you've given us throughout this journey, as well as the love and support of our family and friends. Thank you for all your many blessings, but we would not be here without you today. In your name I pray. Amen. Present off. To the flag of the United States of America. Order on.
Thank you. You may be seated.
Welcome to the 60th session graduation. We appreciate all of you being here, family, friends, fellow law enforcement officers. And there's several that I would like to introduce, but before I do, I'd like to call Sheriff Pat Wade, Jefferson County Sheriff's Office, and the one that's made this training possible for everyone through the academy, to come forward. He's going to have to leave early, and he would like to make some comments and a presentation.
Good morning and welcome. First of all, I would like to thank Pastor Kevin Ham and the Gardner First Baptist for allowing us to be here to use this facility. Great and beautiful facility here today. We'd like to thank all the sheriffs that allow the recruits to come to our academy for training. I'd like to thank the families of those recruits who have missed them while they have been up here training with us throughout the academy. Now I have a special task to award one of the deputies for courageous and outstanding work. On October 25th, there was a call to go up that went out as a medical call. Deputy AG responded to the call. When he arrived, there was a 1-year-old that was unconscious. The 1-year-old found her way into her mother's illegal drugs and overdosed. Deputy AG responded quickly and observed what was going on, and this training kicked in to where he observed that this child had gone through an overdose. He immediately took Narcan and applied it to the child and revived the child. And the child is right now alive. And we're thankful for all the professionalism and the work that Deputy AG, Jordan AG, did on that day. Jordan AG, please come forward. I would like to also call Deputy AG's father to come forward also. He is one of our chiefs here at the Jefferson County Sheriff's Office. Job well done.
Thank you, Sheriff, and I'd like to thank you, Chief Hill, Major Moore, our command staff, all the support of the academy. You don't know how much it's appreciated, and thank you y'all so much. At this time, I'd like to introduce the people sitting on the stage with us. We've already heard from Sergeant Owen, who is on our staff. Next to him is the Honorable Judge Michael Streety. He is a judge in the 10th Circuit Court. And Judge Streety actually started his career in law enforcement with Jefferson County at one time. Chief Deputy Willie Hill is next. You'll hear from him in a few minutes. Down on the other end is Connie Hounds, who I'll speak from him a bit later. Major Moore with Jefferson County Sheriff's Office, and Sheriff Heath Jackson with the Escambia County Sheriff's Office. In addition to them, we have numerous agencies represented. We have 14 different agencies graduating today around the state. So as I call your agency, those representing, please stand. Chief Deputy Kenneth Wings with Bibb County. I think you got several with you there. Sheriff Lockhart, Chambers County SO, Chief Deputy Richard Carter. Your group, thank you. Sheriff John Sharon, Chilton County, with his Assistant Chief Deputy Shane Mayfield. Sheriff Dwayne Smith, Clark County. Sheriff Blake Turman, Covington County. Blake, thank you. In addition to Sheriff Jackson on the stage, Escambia County has Major Bill Blair and Captain Burkett. Thank you. Franklin County Sheriff's Office, Sergeant Palmer and Lieutenant Farrow. Houston County Sheriff's Office, Chief Deputy Jeff Carlisle and Captain James Ivey. Lauderdale Sheriff's Office, Sheriff Rick Singleton, Chief Deputy Rick Reed. Limestone County Sheriff's Office, we have Captain Guy Simmons. Marshall County Sheriff Sims and Chief Deputy Steve Joseph. Pike County Chief Deputy Williams, Lieutenant Price. Talladega County Chief Deputy Josh Tubbs and Captain Blankenship. It's a pleasure to have each of you, and thank you so much for the support you give the Academy, sending your officers, deputies to us for training, as well as the other support you give us through the years. I appreciate it very much. Again, our command staff is sitting over here in the group. They have to sometimes get out and work and cover shifts, etc., because we need instructors from them at times. And I know it puts them short, but they're always willing to help. With that being said, I would like to introduce our speaker, Colonel Jimmy Hounds. He has more than 30 years in law enforcement. He started his career at Montgomery Police Department, then joined the state troopers and has worked through the ranks with the state troopers. His last position was director of the training academy in Selma. He was appointed as the director of the colonel of the Aaliyah Department of Public Safety in May 2021. Sorry, that's about, I'm used to just go back too far. He has a degree from Troy University in criminal justice. In addition to working in law enforcement, he's also been serving the country as a Marine infantry with the 4th Marine Division in Montgomery. With all that being said, and I could keep talking, but I know you'd rather hear from Colonel Helms than me. Thank you for doing that.
Well, I appreciate that introduction, Ms. Tommy. Thank you so much. It certainly is my pleasure to be here today with all of you and take part in this very momentous occasion that as we have assembled together here today to recognize these graduates and honor their accomplishments during this commencement ceremony. And having spent over a third of my career in law enforcement and training at the training center there in Selma, Alabama, I can certainly understand just how much each one of these graduates that are present here today have had to sacrifice. I know how much they have had to do mentally, physically, and emotionally as far as the endurance they had to do for all of that. And everything accompanied with that and the many hours of study they had to put in to prepare and to make it at this point for the graduation. And for everything they've had to do to get to this point, they're certainly to be commended.
And I do want to thank Sheriff Petway, Chief Deputy Willie Hill, and Ms. Tommy, and of course the graduating class for this invitation for me to come and give the commencement address here today. It's very gracious of y'all to allow me to be here. It means a lot for me to have this opportunity to come and speak at this graduation, simply because I know how much our sheriff's departments across the state of Alabama do for us as a Department of Public Safety. For many of you deputy sheriffs that are present here today, I'm sure that all of you can identify with what I'm saying. Many times before we arrive on the scene, you guys have been there holding things down for us long before we get there. And we just appreciate that so much. And it's certainly been our administration's goal and objective is to continue to foster these great working relationships we have together with all of our local sheriff's departments across the state of Alabama. And we just can't thank each and every one of you enough for all that you do for our agency and all that you mean to our guys out there as they're working each and every day. Because a lot of times when we need back up out there, when we encounter situations, it's you guys that are generally the first ones on the scene. And just from the bottom of my heart, I'm going to take this opportunity to thank each and every one of you for that and what it means to us as an agency. Well, first of all, I'd like to say to the graduating class this morning, welcome to the family, because that's exactly what you have joined. Each of you were hired by a sheriff's department, and as you graduate today, you're going to officially become a part of that agency. But when you raise your right hand today and you take this oath, you're becoming a member of a community of brother and sister law enforcement officers who have dedicated themselves to a life of service to others. Now, you have chosen a very honorable career as a law enforcement officer, but being a law enforcement officer is more than a job. And I think you'll soon discover that when you get out here in the field. It's more than a job, it is a profession. Being a law enforcement officer is also more than a profession, it's also a calling. It's a way of life. It's a way of life that you have chosen for yourself, and not only for yourself, but for your families as well. Because everybody in your communities are going to know who you are. And it's going to become a part of your identity. When people introduce you now, they're going to introduce you to so-and-so, and they're a deputy with the sheriff's department. So, and your children and your family, they're going to begin to experience the same thing, because everybody will recognize you as a law enforcement officer. And everything that you do as a law enforcement officer, both personally and professionally, will be very closely scrutinized by your peers and by the public, and rightfully so. Due to your profession and the power and the authority that we have as law enforcement officers. I have to tell you, during the past 32 years that I've been in law enforcement, the job that we have to do every day has not changed very much, but the expectations of law enforcement officers certainly have. And due to the increased expectations of officers in the field, in an effort to better equip our officers for what they will encounter on the job, our basic academy curriculums have had to increase over the years to what is now 14 more weeks, and for some agencies it's up to 18 and 24 weeks of training. And it appears that, we're expected to be subject matter experts in whatever we encounter during the course of our duties. So as a law enforcement officer, you're going to have to wear very many hats. When you're out there on the job, not only are you going to be expected to do the job of a law enforcement officer, but you're also, in many respects, going to have to do the work of a psychologist, a psychiatrist, a physician, a family counselor, a youth counselor, clergy, mechanic, taxi service, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. You're going to perform many different roles in your capacity as a law enforcement officer in the community. Whatever the call is, when you show up, the expectation is that you're going to be able to handle it, you're going to be able to fix it, and you're going to be able to make it right. Now, there's no doubt that if you do this job long enough, you probably have enough on-the-job training to get a degree in just about every one of these categories you're going to be encountering out there on the road. But I don't have a problem with the high expectations for officers, because I believe when it comes to our profession, we need to set the bar very high. As a law enforcement officer, you hold a sacred public trust with those that you serve. That trust has been vested in you by virtue of the power and the authority you possess as a law enforcement officer. The badge that you wear represents that power and authority, but that power and that authority is not yours. It belongs to the people you have sworn to protect and to serve. Your integrity as a law enforcement officer is everything. Integrity means always doing the right thing regardless of who's looking or if anybody's going to see what you do. I tell my people all the time, just do what's right. If you would just allow that to guide your decisions and everything you do, it will be all right. If you don't, then you will suffer the consequences of your actions. We have officers that engage in illegal activity or conduct that is immoral or unethical or unprofessional. It not only affects them, but it reflects upon their fellow officers, it reflects upon their departments and law enforcement as a whole. And when this happens, this creates a terrible strain with the relationship with those in the community that we serve, because when they engage in that kind of behavior, it violates that sacred public trust. But conversely, I would like to offer to you and encourage you not to allow yourself to be defined by the actions of others. Though we may at times be affected by wrong actions of others, it does not determine who we are. It does not determine what we are, nor does it determine what we do. So don't become distracted by the negative narrative of those who would disparage law enforcement. There's no better way to spend a life than to spend it in service to others. I want to share with you a few verses of scripture from the book of Romans, chapter number 13, that have always been a tremendous amount to me. It says, beginning in verse number 13, let every soul be subject unto the higher powers, for there is no power but of God. The powers that be are ordained of God. Whosoever therefore resisteth the power, resisteth the ordinance of God, and they that resist shall receive of themselves damnation. For rulers are not to terror to good works, but to the evil. Wilt thou then not be afraid of the power? Do that which is good, and thou shalt have praise of the same. I want you to notice what it says here in this fourth verse. It says, for he is a minister of God to thee for good. As a law enforcement officer, you are a minister. That word minister means a servant. You are a servant of the people for good. You have been ordained to be a blessing to the people. And I encourage each one of you, as you prepare to go out and work in the communities that you're going to go work in, that you serve these communities well, and that you be a blessing to the communities that you're going to serve, because contrary to some of the negative rhetoric that you may hear out there that may try to convince you that you're not wanted or you're not needed, I promise you that your communities need you, and I promise you that your communities want you. I want to wish each and every one of you a long, prosperous, and a successful career. Just be mindful that your success is not determined by how far you climb the ladder or where you may fall in the hierarchy of your department, but in how well you have done your job. If you continue to work hard and do what is right, those things will take care of themselves. 7.5 months ago, when I was appointed as the director of Aaliyah's Department of Public Safety, I thought to myself, how in the world did I get here? And the short answer to that question is, I just worked myself into the position. Every day that I went to work, I just tried to work hard and try to do what's right. You got to be willing to do what others are not willing to do. You got to be willing to go above and beyond. And sometimes things are not always going to go your way. You know, there's times and opportunities I had in my career when I got passed over for promotions, or things didn't go quite like I wanted them to. In those times, I didn't allow myself to get discouraged. I just kept focused on who I was, why I was here, and what it is I was expected to do. I just continued to try to do a good job. And eventually, I found myself where I am today. But our success is not determined by our position. Our success is not determined by our degrees, our accolades, our awards. Our success is determined by one thing and one thing alone, and that is how well we have done our job. Because another lesson I learned from the scriptures is the first are going to be last and the last are going to be first. When I have to stand before the Lord and give an account of my life, He's not going to ask me or say, well, you were a colonel, you did a good job. The determining factor is going to be whether or not I have done my job well. And I want to encourage each and every member of this graduating class today, as you embark on your career as a law enforcement officer in this capacity as a deputy sheriff, I want to encourage you every day, do your job well. Recognize who you are. Recognize what you are and why you're here and what you mean to the people that you serve. Thank you for your decision you have made to become a member of the law enforcement community and for the commitment that you have made and demonstrated to our profession by the successful completion of your training. And in closing, I just want to say to each and every one of you, during the course of your career, if you ever need in any way, you feel free to call. If you ever need our troopers, please call because we're here for you. Congratulations on your graduation and Godspeed to each and every one of you. Thank you.
Thank you, Colonel. At this time, I'd like to recognize the class officers for session 60. Please come and get your certificate as your name is called. Class President, Bryant Roney, Houston County Sheriff's Office. Class Vice President, Nicholas Morgan, Cambria County Sheriff's Office. Class Secretary Treasurer, Lucas Farrell, Limestone County Sheriff's Office. And Class Chaplain, James Perkins, Jefferson County Sheriff's Office. Ladies and gentlemen, these are your class officers for session 60. Please give a round of applause.
All right, good morning. On behalf of Session 60, I would like to take this time to say thank you to everyone who came to support us on one of the biggest achievements in our lives. We wouldn't have came this far without you. I would now like to show appreciation to those that made this transition achievable. Thank you, Sheriff Mark Petway, for employing these individuals that took their time day and night to train us. Thank you, Director Black, for guiding our instructors. I believe you do an outstanding job of employing the subject matter expert to each lesson that is taught here at the Academy. Thank you to Ms. Danielle Hinton. It was amusing passing out papers and telling Sergeant Powell that we were short on papers. He would say, recount the papers. Ms. Danielle, don't make mistakes. Thank you to Ms. Janet Mitchell. My encounters with Ms. Mitchell were always touching with her extensive knowledge on this academy. She has been here since the start, but works just like she just started. Thank you to the corporals, Casey Markham, BJ Street, and Jason Pilkington. Corporal Street, we appreciated your lessons, particularly the conducted energy weapons, aka the taser. Corporal Pilkington, we appreciate you aiding us with defensive tactics and the OC spray, which was the longest 2 to 12 hours of our lives, except for Deputy Davidson and Deputy West, which was about 36 for them, and an eye patch. And thank you, Corporal Markham. We all appreciated your genuine dedication to us. The skills you aided us with should be the benchmark of our combat skills. I truly think this academy would not be the same without you. And thank you to the sergeants, Sergeant Bill Powell and Terrell Hoagland. Sergeant Hoagland, we appreciated the water tower, whether it looked like it or not. I think our water tower runs the finest as a class. It was the times that brought us together the most. Sergeant Powell, aka Big Papa Powell. The lessons you share with us will stick with us forever. I appreciated your leadership and guidance, and the class did as well. And thank you to the other instructors that came in and taught. And as stated before, this academy did a great job with selecting the best instructors during our time here. So we started all the way back in August when it seemed like it was 100 degrees, and we're now 4 days shy of 2 whole seasons ago. A group of 42 young and hungry students ready to take on the challenge of the Sheriff's Academy. Slowly, we decreased to 35 students due to challenging pass or fail events. Throughout high-stress events, we became supportive of each other. As the stress intensified, our support increased. During these events, it didn't matter the county, race, gender, or other factors, just our will to achieve this goal today. The main message passed through almost every instructor we had is it's not easy nowadays to be in law enforcement. Most of us in session 60 joined this profession due to that alone. We accept the new challenge of clearing the misconception of law enforcement. And lastly, I would like to point out a final message that we received this week that really hit home for me. Judge Streety came in to teach a class and opened the floor with a question that will be a constant reminder throughout our careers, and that was a simple question: why did you choose this profession? I challenge session 60 to, no matter how many years we put in this career, to never forget the answer that we had today. Thank you, session 60, for allowing me to be your president. And now, on behalf of session 60, we would like to present our plaque to Director Black.
Thank you. I wasn't been going up and down the halls laughing at people's pictures. So guess what? Yours will be laughing.
At this time, we'd like to make several special award presentations. The Top Gun Award is presented to the student who achieves the highest overall score on the A+ Firearms Qualification Course. This award is presented to Deputy Charles Conway of the Covington County Sheriff's Office. The Academic Achievement Award is presented to the student who achieves the highest grade point average for the Academy session. This award is presented to Deputy Jacob Rogers of the Jefferson County Sheriff's Office. The Director's Award is presented to the student who displays the highest potential for effective leadership and achievement in combination with observant mention, key interest, and all aspects of law enforcement. This award is presented to Deputy Brian Roney of the Houston County Sheriff's Office. The Physical Fitness Award is presented to a student who demonstrates the greatest level of physical fitness and his commitment to his physical fitness from the beginning to the completion of the academy session. This award is presented to Deputy Matt Smith of the Talladega County Sheriff's Office. Demonstrates the greatest level of physical fitness and their continued commitment to improving their physical fitness from the beginning to the completion of the academy session. This award is presented to Deputy Nicholas Morgan of the Escambia County Sheriff's Office. The Staff Excellence Award is voted on by members of the staff and is presented to the student who exhibits professional demeanor and bearing for having a positive attitude and for setting a positive example by being self-motivated. The Staff Excellence Award is presented to Deputy Nicholas Morgan of the Escambia County Sheriff's Office. At this time, I'd like to bring to the podium Major Cleveland Moore.
Let me first congratulate the class for the outstanding work that you all have put in. And we look forward to seeing each and every one of you serving your communities. To all the honorable sheriffs, family and friends, I have the distinct honor to introduce the staff that has trained this academy as well as past academies. Academy Director, Ms. Tommy Black. Sergeant Terrell Hoagland. Sergeant William Powell. Corporal Casey Markham. Corporal Jason Pillington. Corporal D. J. Street. My longtime friend, Sister Janet Mitchell. Sister Danielle Hinton. And Alex Sanders. If you once again give them a round of applause.
Thank you, Major. At this time, the students will now come and receive the diploma. I would like to ask the sheriffs and the department heads will be presenting diplomas. Make your way around to this side of the stage. Family members, I've told the students to pause and smile for the pictures. So if you would like to make your here as their comments, go ahead and take pictures. They'll be up here plenty of time. Gavin Brooks, Field County Sheriff's Office. Jamar Abel, Chambers County Sheriff's Office. Logan Mayfield, Chilton County Sheriff's Office. Dedrick Jones, Clark County Sheriff's Office. Clay Conway, Covington County Sheriff's Office. Nicholas Morgan, Escambia County Sheriff's Office. Jonathan Frederick, Franklin County Sheriff's Office. Samantha Burr, Houston County Sheriff's Office. Ryan Roney, Houston County Sheriff's Office. Tyler Carter, Jefferson County Sheriff's Office. Wesley Chapel, Jefferson County Sheriff's Office. Dennis Cooper, Jefferson County Sheriff's Office. Cartier Davidson, Jefferson County Sheriff's Office. Leah Gaines, Jefferson County Sheriff's Office. Johnny Hargrove, Jefferson County Sheriff's Office. Carlitra Jackson, Jefferson County Sheriff's Office. Philip Jefferson, Jefferson County Sheriff's Office. David Jelks, Jefferson County Sheriff's Office. Adam Johnson, Jefferson County Sheriff's Office. Carlos Jones, Jefferson County Sheriff's Office. Wesley Meyer, Jefferson County Sheriff's Office. Kay Perkins, Jefferson County Sheriff's Office. Anthony Cross, Jefferson County Sheriff's Office. Maurice Reeves, Jefferson County Sheriff's Office. Jadarius Rogers, Jefferson County Sheriff's Office. Jacob Rogers, Jefferson County Sheriff's Office. Kenyasi Vines, Jefferson County Sheriff's Office. Hunter West, Jefferson County Sheriff's Office. Tia Williams, Jefferson County Sheriff's Office. Trey Bowens, Lauderdale County Sheriff's Office. Lucas Farrell, Limestone County Sheriff's Office. Eric, Marshall Sheriff. Sierra Wilson, Marshall County Sheriff's Office. Bailey Wright, Pike County Sheriff's Office. Lance Smith, Talladega County Sheriff's Office. At this time, Chief Willie Hill will administer the oath of office to these new law enforcement officers. I would like to ask for all of the graduates to stand. Raise your right hand and repeat after me. I state your name. I do solemnly swear. That I will support the Constitution of the United States. Constitution of the United States. Constitution of the State of Alabama. As long as I remain a citizen thereof. As long as I remain a citizen thereof. That I will honestly, faithfully, and purely. Discharge the duties. Discharge the duties. Ladies and gentlemen, this will conclude the graduation ceremony of year 760. Please remain standing as our class chaplain gives our benediction.
Let's pray. Lord, as we leave out today, I pray your protection over everyone as they travel. I pray your protection over my fellow brothers and sisters as they go out prepared to serve their community. We are servants for you, Lord. Lead us, guide us, and direct us in everything we do. We honor you and we lift you up in your name.